So today I'm going to be talking about the November 2024 Chicago Sports Spectacular, hosted at the Donald E. Stevenson Convention Center, also known as the Mini National. You ready? Then let's do it. Hello and welcome, rookie card collecting friends. Victor, the rookie card specialist here. And on most days, we are talking about the beloved rookie card here on this channel. But today, I do want to take a break from that, and I want to talk about the Chicago Sports Spectacular card show that I went to yesterday. Also, stay tuned towards the end, because towards the end of this, I want to talk a little bit about some housekeeping things. But with all that said, let's get right into the show. First and foremost, I have to say that this card show was absolutely phenomenal. Did not disappoint, as it never does. It's typically considered more of a regional show. It's pretty big in size. I don't know how many tables are there, but it's typically a pretty good size show. When I got there, I was a little taken back because of the amount of cars that were going into the parking garage. There was a parking garage across the street from the convention center, which holds, I looked this up, it holds 8,000 vehicles. And when I got there, I'm going to show you some pictures of it here. But when I got there, it's like they had 3 lanes open, and all 3 lanes were filled with cars entering the garage. And that's typically not the case. They typically only have 1 or 2 lanes most entering this garage, but today they had 3, and I had never seen that before. I had never had to park in the 3rd level. So I caught my curiosity, and as I'm walking through the Sky Bridge, there is a bridge that connects the garage to the convention center. As I'm walking through there is just hordes and hordes of people. It's a pretty narrow Sky Bridge, but still, I had never seen it this packed before, not even on the days of the National. So I'm kind of perplexed here. I'm wondering what's going on. And as I come down the escalator, it hits me, and I don't know why I always get duped with this, but they also had a muscle car and Corvette show on the lower level, on the main level where the National usually is set up. And it's like I fall for that every time, and I don't know why. But the Chicago Sports Spectacular was on the 2nd level, so I made my way back up the escalator, went into the show, and as you see here, there's a good amount of people coming in, and I'm coming in a little late. I'm getting there. I'm walking through the front door. It's about 10 a.m. And there are plenty of people there. Overall, there was some deals to be had, at least with the dealers that I dealt with. They were highly motivated sellers looking to make deals, expecting the lower prices. And from the what I was gathering from conversations around me, not many people complaining about prices and product availability. There was just a wide variety of everything there, as there typically is. And there was just one of them things where I don't sense this at every show, and I don't sense this at every Chicago Sports Spectacular, but I can say that on this day, there was just a buzz of excitement in the air. There was just an atmosphere of wheeling and dealing and excitement. And that really goes against the grain to what you hear about today about, you know, too many card shows and too much. And I just, the card shows are dying. There's just too many. And I don't know. The card shows that I go to, I don't see that. I don't sense that. And I just think that there can never be too many card shows. Card shows are not for everybody everywhere. I just think that certain card shows like this one is more of it. It serves a regional area. And then you have your smaller local card shows that only have maybe 40, 50 tables, but that deals for, again, the certain people in a small demographic. It's not for, the masses. You want card shows for the masses, then you go to that type of card show. But you're expecting big turnouts at smaller shows when it's not designed that way. And so I don't see this nonsense about too many card shows. I say nonsense. Card shows being dead or dying, no people. I say nonsense to that. At least the card shows that are around me. And I talk to other people as well. I'm just not giving my opinion. I talk to other dealers and collectors that I know in the area, and we talk. And yeah, man, these shows are alive and active. So just wanted to share that with you folks. So I want to share my pickups. I did not get a whole bunch. I got a nice stack here, just going through dollar boxes. This is maybe several cards are going to be for the PC, but the rest of it is for resale. And I picked up some slabs. And I basically, when I go into these shows and I'm looking for stuff, I usually have, my routine, I guess, is I do a walk around, get a feel for what's out there. And what I'm doing is, what is the card show offering me? Not all card shows are the same. There's, inventory is different. Dealers are different. So to me, it's like, okay, what is standing out to me? And for this day, seemed to be a lot of Michael Jordan stuff. And as a Michael Jordan collector, that stood out to me. And I would say I saw more Michael Jordan stuff at this Chicago Spectacular than any other time. And they were reasonably priced. People were willing to come down, and it was a good deal. I picked up a few Jordans I want to show you. The first one, I'm going to try to get this thing is the 96 Topps Profiles. Great insert card there. I remember opening up box after box after box of this stuff, hoping to pull this card, and I never did. But I finally was able to purchase one and put it in the PC, and I'm happy about that. Next two are base cards, but this is actually a pretty popular base card of Jordan, and that is the Electrified out of 1995 Skybox Premium. And I thought I had this card, and when I checked my inventory on my phone, I could not believe I did not have it in my inventory list. So I was like, oh, wow. I thought I had it, but I didn't. So I picked it up. Guy gave me a great deal on these three cards. Ended up giving me this one for $20. And it's like, what? A 96 Flair Showcase Row 2 Jordan for $20. Enough said. Good enough for me. It's another one that I thought I had in the collection, but I do not. Lastly, the last card I picked up was this pretty cool 1978 O-Pee-Chee. Eddie Murray and a 7. Just don't see these very often, at least not in my neck of the woods. And so pick that one up. You can really see the sides of it, the edges of, the O-Pee-Chee's unorthodox way of cutting these cards with wires. I don't know how true that is or how long they did that, but you can definitely see the left and right edges are a little chewed up. But a great card. Happy to pick that one up. and just something a little different, something a little bit more rare, and jumped all over it. I'm always looking for stuff from the '80s, and man, but I tell you, I'm getting kind of discouraged with looking for '80s cards at card shows. You just don't see them. You see a lot of vintage, you see a lot of ultra modern, but you don't see a lot of '80s. I am building that set registry, the 100 greatest cards of the 1980s, but I'm picking those up. I'm building that set registry in PSA 10 format as much as I can. I'm not going to get 10s for the really big stuff that's out there, but if I can help it, I'm building that one in PSA 10. But man, I tell you, I kept my eye open at this show. Could not find very much of those this weekend. So bummer on that. Also, few things that I wanted to talk to you guys before I leave you today. GameStop making a lot of headlines lately, especially with Nat Turner joining the board. I had publicly said that there is not a GameStop around me several months ago on Hobby Hotline, and I wanted to bring correction because I did not know this till this past couple of weeks, but I found a GameStop that is less than a mile from my house, and I didn't even realize it. There's this little like plaza store near my house, and they have like an iVision place and a couple other businesses, and lo and behold, right in the middle of that complex, there is a GameStop. But it's not going to be for me. I will continue to purchase my yearly subscription to PSA, and I will be submitting my own cards. That to me is more for novice collectors, people coming into the hobby. And I have all the faith in the world that they're going to hire qualified people or train certain qualified people to take care of that for PSA, but it's not going to be for me. I do think, being responsible and being a good steward of the hobby, I'm not going to like demean it either. I'm going to, there's just so much bad mouthing, bickering going on about it. And to me, if you like it, use it. If you don't like it, don't use it. Nobody's putting a gun to our heads that we actually have to submit through them. If it works for you, hey, by all means, go ahead and look into it. I would give them some time to kind of establish themselves first. Maybe give it some time for them to build their processes and procedures on how this is going to look. And then we can see what happens in the future. But just wanted to make correction that I do have a GameStop. And also, eBay sales are down. A lot of I watch a lot of YouTube content that deals with eBay stores only because I opened up an eBay store here in the last year. And I've learned so much from the content creators here on YouTube. I'm so grateful. I have a debt of gratitude to guys like, 1 Million Cubs Cards, Dollar Box, another channel called Dollar Box. I just love these guys because they're so transparent. They teach us how to do things and what not to do. eBay sales are down. A lot of people are complaining about it. I can honestly say that mine are down as well. But I don't think, and this is where it trickles down to, the hobby's dying type of thing. And I was going to make a whole video on it, but I didn't want to belabor the point. And I've made videos on that topic before, and it just gets repetitive after a while. Listen, we go through this every single time of the year. Okay. Not everybody in this hobby has 7 or 8 figure bank accounts. Okay. So most of us, the majority of us in the hobby, are working class folk that actually have limitations on our budget as far as what we can spend on cards. And it being the holiday season, we go through this every single year, but somehow we got to make dramatic content on how the hobby is dying. No, it's just people have other responsibilities this time of year. because of the Christmas, and the discretionary income is much lower for some folks. But things will pick up come January, February. Things typically pick up and shoot to the moon, right? So don't be fearful of, you know, a lot of content creators. It's more like a topic of clickbait, and I get it, because the clickbait is what gives you views. The clickbait is what kind of you know, when you're looking for an idea of, man, what kind of video should I make this week? What kind of content should I create this week? And you just kind of go with the flow, and you hear other people talking about it. Next thing you know, the topic just kind of makes its rounds. But I think it's over dramatized, and I think everything is fine in the hobby. Everything is status quo. Everything is excitement in the air for the hobby, from what I'm seeing and experiencing. So no need to worry on that. Last thing I wanted to say was on pricing. I had several people reach out to me. Two of them was via social media. One of them was an actual email asking me questions about pricing, more specifically pricing on Paul Skeens cards. I just wanted to publicly say here on my channel that I do not deal with pricing. I don't even look at pricing whatsoever, unless I'm buying or I'm selling. That's the only time I look at pricing. I can care less about what it's going to be in the future. I can care less about some type of investment. To me, that doesn't matter a hill of beans. The only time I care about pricing, again, is if I'm getting ready to sell something, because I want to give my customers a fair value, right? I don't want to price gouge anybody. But at the same time, if I'm making a purchase, a big purchase especially, I am going to do a little bit of homework on pricing. And when I'm talking about big purchase, for me, it's typically, you know, $300, $400, $500. That's about my max. Do I aspire to someday maybe buy big boy cards? Absolutely. But for now, that's kind of where I'm at, and that's kind of my wheelhouse, and that's okay, because I'm having a blast. These 4 cards that I picked up here, they're all 4 for PC, and I love them. I really enjoyed myself. There's times when you make a purchase and you walk away from the table and you start feeling that buyer's remorse. You know, it's like, man, I shouldn't have bought that. I don't know if you guys have ever felt that at least once. I know I have, and I hate that feeling. But then there are times, like I had an experience yesterday when I bought these 4 cards, walked away from the table. I actually felt good and excited about the purchase. And that's kind of what I'm after. That's good advice to follow. Listen to your gut. Listen to what your heart's telling you. Make logical, sound decisions. And are you excited about the purchase? And before you say, okay, make sure that you fully know what you're getting yourself into. Make sure that you truly want the card, and you're not just making an impulse buy that you're going to regret later. That's going to be it for today. I appreciate you tuning in. Please consider subscribing and sharing this channel with a friend. At the very least, give me a thumbs up. Come on, guys. Give me at least a thumbs up. And remember, not all rookie cards are created equal.
The true Jordan rookie from 1985.
Bullshit.
Until next time, buenos nachos, muchachos.